So when they voted on that.
How long are you gonna be gone?
Well, county orders to Tuesday. Then from maybe Wednesday, we're going to drive to Pittsburgh.
Who was this?
Oh, the sitter.
Oh.
A mile and a half of shade.
Well, when I started going a couple of years ago,
The
Like surround.
ordinance for the zone. I turned the one guy down because the zoning wasn't. He kept saying,
I'm gonna be there at 3. I'm shooting.
Oh,
There.
do you have a place down there?
No,
We'll find out.
I'd like,
They're just out there.
I can go to the same place, go in the Cape Coral area.
Okay.
You like
Got it. He needs to get back.
We've had some really nice
So
places.
do you go like Verbo, that kind of stuff?
Airbnb. Yeah,
Oh, pretty good.
we like our own.
He said.
We're comfortable. Embrace it. Is it
Into the three.
What the hell are you doing?
Well,
thought about bringing it?
I wanna walk. And I'll get back down to that
One place you pay for, just bought another place.
Really?
So they go down.
$3.
Permits.
The gentleman, like 10%, we're Boston, Tom, and it's got green house. That's the fancy cat.
Right.
The ones on.
So we used to always go there.
Gonna be Flat Davidson,
Go to Cape Coral is.
We're stuck in sales.
Give that one.
And
It's not near as much of a nightmare.
Oh,
Concerned about.
Yeah, about Joe. I run into Big Jim once in a while, but that's the only person I see. And by the time I run into Jim Levin, he's not talking farming by that time.
No.
Talking Jack and Cokes by that time.
Jackson died, no, who's that? Jimmy Leather, a part of him. So, third party.
I'm good, thank you better have to regulate. Oh, we have to problem with my phone over here. You can see that far in front of us.
Yeah. I asked. We talked to you.
Are they screening?
Had a different class name. So.
I see,
It looks like it.
I see Brian's here, so
Now, if I'd known that, I would have worn. Conditions. Maybe I'm sure.
you're advertising.
Oh, well. Peter, your area is right here in the center.
We wave.
I think that's mine. They just gave me, should they have passport on it? There's a paper in there.
Repeat, tell me.
Yeah, my name's on it. Okay, there's a paper in there.
Is he gonna do, are we gonna be televised now? Yeah.
Not in that. Well, I haven't looked. But it is. See, I saw yours and I'm like, well, I think I could look at the. Look at the mirror at home and
Buddy,
be 85 years old. You're right.
That his suggestion,
well,
yeah,
Cause I hadn't been able to get my email. I didn't. And this is the first time I've seen it.
yeah.
I didn't. They send you a lot of emails?
How do you think I?
It's got that.
No.
check that.
Oh,
Older than me. That one and Seamer's over in Oakwood.
You're not older than me.
80 sure is.
It's 70, I said.
Let's get rubber started.
Oh, no. 10 years, I'll be 80. And 10 years went like.
Yes.
Oh. From,
No, right.
Motion Industries.
Not enrolled,
Yeah.
you never filled out the.
It's a fire hazard. It's got wheel up
A few weeks ago, I was down in Brian's chili hole down in the basement. He helped me on a few things, my tablet. He's a good guy. Yeah, Brian. He's a good guy. I've never met him.
Right away that.
Oh.
He's watching. Anybody did?
Well,
Some green chip. Georgetown David, I was Ed Brown. I'll tell you. Not Georgetown. I think that's what. No, tell him.
Joe Montgomery's on the best county. I know the name. Joe Montgomery is.
It is 6 o'clock. And I will ask for the invitation, which is going to be presented tonight by Administrator Taylor, who's the Senior Minister at the Second Church here in Danville.
Let's begin by observing a moment of silence for the women and men that are serving and have served our country. Thank you. Will you pray with me, please? Father in heaven, we thank you for this evening. I thank you for the men and women that stand before me that have agreed to serve our county. I thank you for their willingness to lean into the freedom that we have, the democracy that we have. And I pray that your wisdom and your discernment would guide them tonight and as they continue to serve in your name. We thank you so much for Vermilion County and the opportunities that we have here. We pray that 2025 will be our best year yet. And that through it all, more and more people in unity will do their very best to come together in the name of our county. Thank you for the hope that we have in Jesus, your son. And it's in his name that we pray.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll have a roll call.
Tom, here.
Present.
Boyd.
Here.
Butler.
Here.
Echo, Echo.
President, people there.
Golden,
Present.
Green. Walker.
Present.
Anderson.
Present.
Jackson.
Here.
McFadden.
Here.
McMahon. Morgan.
Here.
Gary Miller.
Here.
Okay.
Present.
Shepherd. Star.
Here.
Steinbach. Wall.
Here.
Weaver.
Present.
Aloy. Gary.
Here.
Miller.
Forum, we are going to excuse Jim McMahon, Dan Wright, Kevin Green, Greg Shepherd, and Billy Ryan, who contacted my office.
Mr. Chairman, if I may mention, Reverend Jackson is on a mission trip in Africa. I could ask if he could be excused.
Okay, before we move to the rest of the agenda, I'm gonna ask Brian Talbot to stand and give a report about what is underway as far as our technology advance that we've made since the last week. Right?
For those of you who have not met me yet, I'm Brian Talbot. I'm the IT director for the county. And I think it was last month's finance committee meeting was brought up that we were wanting to live stream the county board meetings. So tonight is the first time we're doing that. So currently we are live on Zoom. If you'll notice by your seats on each row, the little puck microphones. those are the ones that are connected into the Zoom system. So that will be what is broadcast. So tonight's kind of a test run. We'll see how it goes. Questions?
Could you turn the mics on?
Lights on. These lights.
That's our mic thing.
That's no, that's it. Oh, no, that's not that well. Okay.
How would the public access this?
Oh, anyway, we have put a link on the Vermilion County homepage. If you go to the homepage, www.vermilion.org. At the bottom of the county board section, it's got a link that's the exact wording, but it's basically live stream county board. So they click on there and it takes them to the channel they will set up on YouTube.
Let's have a word about the activity of the puck speakers.
Oh, yeah, well, like I said, the puck speakers are the ones that are tied directly into the Zoom system we have. So when they're lit up white like that, that means they're live. So,
They are very accurate.
yes, they will pick up everything in the room and down.
When we were touring with this today, Brian and I were able to actually hear recordings in the office, so anything you're saying is likely being recorded just for your own advice. Brian, thank you for your efforts to putting this together and we'll see how it goes. And thanks for putting on the microphone.
Okay, I think it's probably normal. Yeah, for sure.
It is that you had to leave because of that, so thank you, Mr. Parker, for bringing that up.
Anything with the VA, sir?
Thanks, Brian.
We'll now turn to the adoption of the agenda. Do we have any amendments to the agenda? If not, then we have a motion to approve the agenda, please.
Motion?
Weaver, second, Mr. Henderson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. No, the ayes have it. Motion to adopt the agenda is approved. Okay, we have the minutes from the last meeting. Anybody have any changes they wish to make to the minutes? And the alternative, did we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Mr. Steinball made the motion, was correct, seconded, any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no, the ayes have it, minutes are approved. We'll now have item 7, report on claims for January. Everybody's had a chance to look at that, I presume. Is there a motion to approve the claims for January? Mr. Steinball, who made a motion, second? Claus, seconds the motion. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Golden,
Yeah.
Hopper,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Poe. Yes. Johnson,
Yes.
Lamar, yes. McFadden,
Yeah.
Morgan,
Yes.
Gary Miller,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Star,
Yes.
Sunnyvale,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Weaver,
Yes.
Gary,
Yeah.
Mullen,
Yes.
Eagle,
Yes.
Kingdom is accepted.
Motion carries. Next item would be the raffle poker run applications. Those are before you. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Motion by Ms. Butler, seconded by Mr. Henderson. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it, motion carries. Okay, audience comments. We have anyone who wishes to address the board? Have 3 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I would like to thank you for getting all this done. Audio and video and so forth. We need to get rid of that insidious hum.
Well, in fact, that is our next challenge, and we have that scheduled to hopefully be done before the next meeting. It's gonna take us a little bit of money, but we're gonna get that fixed too.
Cool, great. Well, it was pure joy that I watched this board be a governing body, an open discussion, moving issues through to an agreeable conclusion, real debate and questions asked on renewals. It was almost an existential experience, what with the actual installation announcement of improved communications. Meanwhile, the same old song and dance is performed by our clip continues to hurt the board, but at least now he's starting to tell some truths. Remember months ago when the question of who he works for was brought up? He answered it last month in January's meeting. After challenging him on his broken fiduciary pledge, he informed us that he doesn't work for you, this board, much less a Vermilion like me. So no pledge applies, he's free to screw us over. And who did he say was his client? Oh yes, our state's attorney, who's been reported in secret negotiations with the solar company, and assured them that even if the board vetoed their request, she would sign off on the authorization. It's why every renewable project should be stopped now and invested in coal mines. Anything south of 74 is a risky build, as the entire area is elaborate with coal tunnels, especially around the Westfield Georgetown area, where many of the original mines began and the biggest ones ended. So that some of those areas, the tunnels have been mapped, but not all. One such location is the northeast corner of the Belgian stoplight. A piece of farmland that 50 years ago did not have rows of trees growing across the field. Over the years, the coal tunnels that were dug there began collapsing with trees and brush growing in the sunken soil. A relentless monster slowly growing its tentacles, reaching out today within a few feet of a soon destroyed concrete highway that is Georgetown Road. All over the area, there are hidden mine sinks that will only grow worse as time goes on. Technology, people believe, poses little risk. Now, 100 years later, hurts us. There's a reason why the renewable carpetbaggers and their ilk keep meeting secret and practice social manipulation, using legal process to control outcomes, including revoking the First Amendment rights of landowners. So, more and more studies have shown that the accumulation of plastics in our environment and our bodies are causing increased illness, something the solar environment reports never addressed, which means it needs to go back again for reevaluation, since all plastic agents shed polymers. Today, Thomas Jefferson's words have never rang more clearly than when he said, when tyranny becomes law, rebellion becomes duty. Be the resistance, your God-given right and duty as a citizen.
Thank you.
I thank you all for your information, but I really want to address this.
He pulled the mic up to you.
And it has to do with our women following committee hearings and meetings. In this meeting, government transparency, I would love to see the board address the issue. Some of the hearings and minutes still are not on the county's website, so I can only print off the ones that were there. I printed them. If you will notice on every single agenda, public comment was not come until after a vote or an action is taken by that committee. I have watched a lot of people come to those hearings and meetings, and they are furious when they leave because what they have to say means nothing because the vote's already been taken. I went to Torres, who's the chair. Said, Steve, this isn't fair, could we change this? And he told me that the committee was told to do that, and he had to set up the agenda and they were to follow whatever he said. So I went to Andy Hyde, and Andy is there, and I'm like, at which time I told him to do nothing new work, and see what the county board, me, and then he kind of, no, I work for Ms. Lacy. So I believe I said something to Ms. Lacy about this once. We need to change this, let public comment matter, because people have a right to be heard. And her comment was, any kind of sense of the agenda. So I did some digging, I checked, and here's what it should be, since what I mentioned. That Andy Kite was indeed appointed by our state attorney, Ms. Lacy. However, Andy Kite should represent the county, which would include the citizens of Vermilion County and the board. And the policy is set by the county board. We would love it if you all would see to it that public comment is now vital and important. Government transparency, if you look it up on Google, talks all about public comment and what a vital part it is to our government. And we would appreciate it if the people who are involved would be part of it. Thank you.
Are there any other audience comments? Okay. We're ready for item 10, which is Vermilion Advantage, and Mr. Mike Marin is present. And we will now recognize Mr. Marin.
Thank you, Chairman Miller, Vice Chairman McFadden, and members of the county board. Appreciate the time tonight to talk about a proposal that we have. We'd like your input on it. I will give a brief overview of the idea, what we're thinking of, and then we'll turn it over to Michael Levin, who is the Vermilion County Trustee Director, to give you the details of the proposed program, and then we're happy to take any comments or answer any questions that you have. So if you remember, sometime last summer, this board took action to change the way we handle the county trustee process. At the time, Joseph Meyer and Associates handled that. Vermilion Advantage now handles that program on behalf of the county. The idea being that we were able to save a pretty substantial amount of money that Joseph Meyer and Associates was using. Basically, they were making a profit off of running that program for the county. We're able, and the goal is to potentially use that money back into programs to do things like blight removal, county redevelopment, try to put incentives on the table to get developers to come in and do residential rebuilding in all communities of the county. And so in the process, we have been in talks with Chairman Miller about the potential of maybe using some interest money that was gained on the ARPA funds to do a county demolition program. Now, hopefully in the future, we'll be able to generate enough revenue to undertake efforts like these on our own. And in addition to that, we are also very aggressive at applying for state grant funding for things like blight removal. But in the meantime, the opportunity came up, and we've been having this discussion about potentially using some ARPA interest funding to start a program, which would basically be a matching program to communities around the county that are engaging in blight. The idea being that blight being a very significant problem in every community that we have in the county, blight reduces property values. It's a drain on the tax base. It's blight is an inviting target for crime. And so a lot of communities around the county are very aggressive in trying to address this. The idea is that we would get engaged with this to be able to match them dollar for dollar to help them address this program. So with that, I'll invite Mr. Michael Levin up to give you the details of the program.
Thank you. I'll try to be quick. Again, Mike Levin, the new director of the program. And thank you, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members of the county board. Again, we're here to talk to you tonight about a demolition program proposal that we're bringing to you. Again, as Mike just mentioned, what we see is as far as taking this program on is really bringing focus, really bringing strategy into the program, so we can solely focus on the Vermilion County and the communities, the cities, the villages, the townships. They're all reside obviously in Vermilion County. So we want to do a good job. We want to come out of the gate in a strong way. And so we wanted to present to you this demolition program. This proposal seeks to approve the allocation of $400,000 of county funds, again, to establish a mansion demolition program through the county funds. This program aims to facilitate demolition of vacant properties, enhance community revitalization, and of course, improve public safety. Go through, we know that this is a very complex issue. This is not an issue that remains to be only solely here in Vermilion County. This is an issue that is impacting and affecting various communities across the country. And so this project really requires a broad range of resources and partners. And that's why we're doing this evening. This program looks to, again, demolish properties, looks to stabilize various parcels and properties. It looks to new home construction and various other things embedded. If we can take away some of these properties and demo them going through. Again, the goals and objectives of this program very, very quickly. Number one, again, to demolish structures, reduce the number of structurally unsafe and visually unappealing properties in our communities. Number two, encourage local investment, motivate private landowners and developers to invest in rehabilitation, again, of these vacant properties. Three, promotion of economic development, of course, create jobs and stimulate the economy. Number four, enhance public safety, which we talked about. Of course, five, that community engagement, that important piece to foster that sense of community pride, right? To bring and take in some of those blighted properties and do something to move forward. We want to, we really based this proposal in this program off of some successful land bank programs here in Illinois, as well as in Ohio and Indiana. And they are currently working with demolition programs, and they've been very, very successful in not taking down all of the blighted structures, all of the blighted parcels and properties. But what it does is it takes a good hit into removing some of those properties. And so that's how this program is based on. Again, that funding allocation which we talked about, and then that eligibility criteria, which we've embedded into this program, which would be properties must be identified as blighted according to established criteria. Of course, eligible applicants include, again, what we are calling CBTs, or the cities, municipalities, and of course the townships, the CBTs, and the villages. Okay, so eligible applicants, of course, are those qualified nonprofits, those cities, those villages, those townships, other property owners are all eligible for this program. We want to implement into kind of an application process for this program. So these CBTs, these cities, these villages, these townships will apply to the trustee program, apply to us for their priorities of their level properties. Okay. Interested in CBTs will complete what we're calling a DAP, or a demolition assistance program application request form. Going through, once approved, that CBT will complete the demolition according to our standards. Going through qualification of a demolition, the CBT must provide proper documentation, so on and so forth. Before, have pictures of the property, copies of all contracts, invoices, all of these documents. After the supporting documentation submitted by the CBT, then the trustee program will then go ahead and reimburse the CBT as outlined in the contract, dollar for dollar matching for that. Going through again, evaluation and reporting comes through with this program as well. And we absolutely included, evaluation points of pre and post demolition assessment of the property, tracking system for the application process, and of course, regular reports of the county regarding the program process. Again, we talked a little bit about the contract that will be in place, and upon approval, of course, a contract will be executed by the CBT and of course the key program, and all of those things that the contract can discuss. And then very quickly, the conclusion here this evening is really, again, investing in the matching program is really investing in demolition, again, for these blind properties. This is not, if this program is approved, it's not going to take care of every blind property. We know and understand that. What it will do is we'll give it a good shot, okay, and it will act as a tool in the overall toolbox that we have with the trustee programs to initiate these demolitions, right, and work with the CBTs in partnership. Again, we urge the county to approve this proposal and really help pave the way for a cleaner, for a safer and a more prosperous future for our communities. Again, in the next steps that we would like to take is really finalize the guidelines of the application process, initiating outreach and potential applicants involved with this program. We'd be happy to answer any questions, and we thank you for your time.
So the background on this, just briefly, from my point of view, is the finance committee, which had authority to make decisions regarding ARPA funds granted to the county, had made a decision almost 2 years ago that we would take 10% of the $14 million that the county would receive from the federal government under the American Rescue Plan, and let the local communities within the county and other 501c3 organizations apply for those funds. One of the recipients of some of those funds, which of course would be $1.4 million, was the city of Houston, which was awarded $600,000 for the development of the hotel. As it turned out, that project was not fruitful, and the city, to their credit, returned $600,000 to the county after the December board meeting. We, of course, contacted Clifton Larson Allen, our auditors and advisors, and they advised that we had to have that $600,000 committed not later than December 31. So we had a special finance committee meeting that did commit that money to the second Centrica contract the board had approved, so that we would have those funds committed and not in any state of limbo. The finance committee felt strongly that since we really were $600,000 short of fulfilling our commitment for the $1.4 million to the local units of government, we needed to do something for them. The good news in all of this was that because our funds have been wisely invested, we were going to have nearly $400,000 or more that we could spend with full county board approval, not just the finance committee. And those funds are of an unrestricted nature. But we wanted to fulfill the earlier promise to units of local government within the county that they would be benefited by a portion of what we received. So this program was viewed as being one that would reach multiple areas of the county and have a sense of fulfilling what had been promised at an earlier date. And so the real ARPA monies had to be committed not later than December 31. We knew we could not get this program approved in that time frame. That would have been rushing things. We weren't going to have a special county board meeting in December. So that's how we got to where we are, for those of you who might not have known otherwise. I just wanted to explain that. But now, Mr. Hogger had a question, Mike.
Yes, President Marin has appeared in front of the Finance Committee twice, and I would just like to point out some of the things that I personally have learned, and Mike, if I'm misspeaking, holler at me, man. First of all, there will be no administrative fees for the municipalities that will participate in this or the county. That's different from the current or previous land bank that we dealt with, as most of you board members remember. They mainly were coming around asking for $90,000 here, $50,000 there for administrative costs. Due to Mike and his staff running the trustee program, that is being covered by that. So that's a big savings right there. The other thing that I'm very excited about, I pointed this out before, my district is Park City, Park County. My residents that live in the city are used to getting lots of grants. City of Danville does an excellent job on getting grants after grants after grants. In the county area, you know, we're not that successful. County clerk gets some, state's attorney gets some, some other department heads get a few, recorder, but not a real large grant. And I understand that Vermilion Advantage will start at least looking that direction in doing some things with other grants in the county. So I think that partnership is very important there. And I can tell you, as a landlord of almost 25 years, biggest thing is you have that dilapidated house beside your rental. It's very hard to rent. When that dilapidated house goes down, it's much, much easier. And the villages just don't have the resources. And I would like to, as Laurie pointed out, as you know, I'm very much guarded on asking for budget amendments out of the general fund. This would not be general fund money. This would be the interest earned on the ARPA funds. I'm very much in support of it and hope that it goes on the agenda for the finance this month. Thank you.
Other questions? Mr. Steinfeld.
So in verbatim, you had said 400,000, is that correct? When I read the information that was given to me, it's a 600,000. What's the difference? And then number two, will it be limited to residential properties or will it be residential and commercial? Because a lot of these small villages have old commercial buildings.
So, I'm glad you asked that question. So what you have in front of you is a proposal. So I think in full disclosure about this idea even came about was we just happened to be at a meeting talking about the trustee program. We were actually in Hoopston, meeting with the mayor and the village, several of the village trustees about, the very first project we took on as a trustee, which was to get them control of the property downtown. So that they were wanting to get in the hands of the developer and get it developed for downtown Hoopston. And the mayor just happened to bring up, this was in early December, that they were gonna return the $600,000 to the county. So immediately contacted the chairman about the possibility of, hey, this is something that would benefit the entire county, we would get an immediate return on investment. But of course, time constraints just didn't allow that to happen. So I think initially we were asking for 600, whereas what you got in front of you is just basically notes that we've put together for this whole thing. It's not in final form yet. The other thing is, you know, because this has been a work in progress, and I really appreciate the chairman, his involvement in this and the discussions we've had and the discussions with the finance committee. We're open to how this looks best, right? I think there are issues. In fact, there are issues. I know in several communities with very large grain elevators that are no longer in use. And so I think we're open to however this makes sense. I think the challenge is when you get into a large scale commercial property like that, you can potentially spend the entire $400,000. And I can't imagine what would cost to train a grain elevator. So I'd say we're open to it, but I also think we've got to look at where we're going to make the most impact. Whereas if you can tear down a house for $10,000 or $15,000, you can tear down a lot more in houses for $10,000 or $15,000 than one, you know, rent out whole brand. So
it's kind of a maybe then, commercial.
and I think so. Before this, here's in final form for a vote. I think we'll probably have those specific discussions and hammer this out and figure out what makes sense. And I guess that's one of the purposes of tonight is to see your input too on how all of you think this looks and where it would have the most effect in the communities that you represent.
Can a village use this and the land bank at the same time?
Well, that's one of the details. Yeah, but I think we're open to that. I mean, so there are several communities that are still utilizing the land bank for demos. I know Westville's one of them. We've been out meeting, that's one of the things that the chairman asked us to do is go out and meet with all the individual villages. We've made it to probably half of them in the county so far. We've got some more to go. But some of the communities are still working with Silva. And in my opinion, I think we need to try to be as effective as we can. So I'm open to leveraging these funds with funds that those communities are using in Silva, as long as it's got to be a dollar for dollar match on demos. I don't think that we should match. If say Westville is paying part of the administrative costs for Silva, I do not agree with reimbursing them for administrative costs. I think it has to be, I would be pretty strongly in favor of only applying dollar for dollar on actual demos, because I think we need to use this to its full effect.
Any other questions or comments? Yes, Mr. McLean.
Yeah, my district, so west on Georgetown, we have issues just about like every other small town in the county. I'm sure we have certain line issues that affect our district. We also have a high college in Westville. So thanks to our local leadership, we have been starting the plan release process, which has been very helpful. So, you know, a house here, a house there, a couple houses doesn't seem like a big deal for, you know, somebody in a big city or whatever. If 1 or 2 houses that shows like Westville tearing down is a big deal. We really see, that's a big no to us. So the opportunity for us to double our money basically with your matching funds. So we can tear down 2 houses instead of 1, 4 houses instead of 2. That will have a big impact in my district. So I'm very excited about the program. I thank you guys for coming in and put on the presentation and look for the program guys. Thank you.
After the house was tore down, who owns the property?
So it depends on the process, but more than likely in this case. So as the trustee, we are taking ownership of unwanted properties. So as it's a very high likelihood that the county trustee, which is Vermilion Advantage acting on your behalf and all the other taxing districts we have, would have control of the property with the idea of getting that property marketed and back to a tax paying citizen that wants to do something productive with the property. Now, there could be a case where if certain communities are able to, for instance, Tilton is home rule, and they are pretty aggressive at code enforcement. And I'm just using them as an example. So there's a potential that, you know, through code enforcement or whatever, a community like Tilton could take actual ownership of a property that they want to demo themselves. So in that case, the community can potentially own the.
What happens if the property is not owned by the Vermilion County trustee, but a separate, that they've paid the taxes for like 4 years?
So this would only apply to tax delinquent properties or properties that the village was able to get a hold of. So this is not, you know, we couldn't, if somebody has paid their taxes, but they're you know, they're not very good at keeping their voice up.
No, this would be another company buying taxes other than the trustees.
No.
Like Integrity Fund is a company out there.
No.
Okay.
No, so I think to answer your question, if a tax buyer.
It has to be trustee.
Got a hold of a property, we would not come in and demo their property where they could benefit from right now.
Okay. Anyone else? I want to thank you and Mike, thank you. We appreciate you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll move on to the presentation. This list, but we've got Todd Lee. Former county board chair. Welcome, Todd. Welcome, Sue. We're going to talk to you about the county's 200th anniversary celebration. Embryonic plans for that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and county board members for allowing us to come tonight to update you on the 200th anniversary celebration for Vermilion County, which is coming up in 2026. We passed out a sheet, we put it on the desk beforehand, so it does let you know the motto that we are using, which is 200 years of new frontiers. One of the things that we are looking forward to being able to do is the idea that this celebration includes everyone. And so we want to be able to showcase all the local events that are already in place and to increase their attendance and to have the people in Vermilion County be very appreciative of what the county has to offer. At the museum, we're in the distinct, I guess you could say, position to have a lot of different people come in from all over the county. And it is really amazing how people from maybe the Hookston area don't know what's going on inside that. Or people in Westville don't know what's going on in Rossville. You know, even though they live in the same county, you know, our question usually to them is, are you living under a rock? They don't have any idea. So we really want to use this celebration to not only instill the heritage that the county has in people, but also to make them appreciate the county. So the first sheet on the top just talks basically about the celebration. I'm not going to read through it all, you can look at it. But it tells you some of the basic precepts that we're working under at the present time and what we hope to accomplish initially in getting started with the celebration. One of the main things, as I said, we want to highlight the shared history. We want to celebrate with milestones from the past and the county's newest achievements, as well as favorite sons and daughters. We do have the unique distinction of celebrating our 200 years, the same year that the country is celebrating its 250th. And when you take that into perspective, at 50 years really doesn't amount to much difference because the county was established so early after the United States became as we know it today. So that's one of the main things we thought about in planning the celebration too. So one of the things we need to do in order to have the celebration is, of course, to raise funds in order to do it. And so most of the activities and things that are listed on the front are items that we will need, you know, dollars for. So we did come and talk to the finance committee, and I'm going to turn it over to Todd to tell you a little bit about the second sheet, which is the finance sheet.
Project funding is going to be needed. So steering committee we put together to get some ideas and get it started off. About $150,000 is what we're looking at. And our plan is to go out and get four major sponsors at $25,000 each to get seed money to get us going. Coming to the county, it is the county's 200th birthday. We thought it would be a good place to start with our presentation and our ask for funding. As you can see on the budget overview that we put in front of you is a breakdown. We're planning on taking banners, having banners placed in every one of our villages. There'll be single banners that will be put on a lamp and a light post. Maybe more than one going in and out of the villages. We'll have mobile displays that we'll be able to take to libraries within the community. As we go out to the fairs and the festivals, we'll take our displays with us. We will have school displays set up, 12 boards per set. And we will have to showcase at the Festival of Trees. Plan on doing 3 events at the museum. We've got area actors and reenactors from the different organizations such as Red Mask,
are going to assist us. We're planning on driving around tours. The community has talked to us. We talked to them actually about providing vans that we can schedule tours that we leave from the museum throughout the year. We will do specific, we may do coal mining for one event, we may do railroads, we may do industry, we may do agriculture. There'll be different type of subjects. Got a budget for our printouts, our advertising booklets. And one of the things that we would really like to be able to raise funds for is to have a hologram of President Lincoln at the museum, similar to the one at the Lincoln Museum in Springfield. We think it would be a great attraction, not only for our 200th birthday, but an attraction for people coming in to visit our county, clearly in the future. So as you see, we're looking for $150,000. Looking for 4 major sponsors to get us going at $25,000. And we're here to ask you. I know really she can't make a decision tonight, but that's our ask. County will be involved with the seed money and $25,000 to help us get started. Does anyone have any questions?
One of the other things we wanted to ask the county board is, you've seen our motto there. We'd like to be able to include that with the existing county logo. We do not want to initiate another logo celebrating the county history. This one speaks very well for itself from the first industry here in the county. I certainly would like to include the logo in the center of the logo for the event. So that when people see it, they will know immediately, one, it's their county, and two, that it is part of the celebration, the celebratory activities, because that will be on all the printed material throughout the year. And this is a year-long celebration.
Where is the new logo? Do you have the new logo? Is it in this pass out yet, or?
You clarify. Before we get it on the wrong path. This is our seal. No one is suggesting we change the seal. They are asking for permission to use the seal in their advertising. There has been discussion of a logo for the county, which would not replace the seal, but would be in addition to the seal.
Right.
And as part of this project, information that I gave to you, and we'll be discussing that in my comment part, but I just wanted to clarify that the logo that's suggested in this document has nothing to do with our seal.
The black sheet that I attached is just for everyone's information. This gives you the names of those individuals that are serving on the steering committee. This event, and then there are multiple subcommittees under it that also have other individuals. And if you have any suggestions as we are going through our planning stages, please feel free to contact either myself or Todd, whose contact information is on there, because we are open to any and all suggestions, anything that we can utilize and help the celebration go further to get it all over the county and to
Still on that note, it just strikes me in looking at the list there, Westville and Georgetown. Might be a nice representation.
Yeah, we are still contacting people and, and then some people are very busy, so. Yeah, right. So, yes, and we are always building and looking for more individuals. And there are some from those areas. So that's good. And
Hey, appreciate you being here. Thank you for your time. Probably ask the board to take action next month. I didn't want to have this for the demolition project before you vote tonight, or you have a chance to think about these issues. But expect to be voting next month. Okay, we are ready for item 12. A, resolution concerning the collection of delinquent taxes. There are several sales that took place. Those are identified on the handout. We have a resolution for each of those. Is there a motion to the resolutions regarding delinquent taxes? Mr. Ecker, second by Mr. Steinball. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Boyd,
Yes.
Butler,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Walker,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Poe. Johnson.
Yeah.
Lamar.
Yes.
Fenn.
Yes.
Morgan. Gary Miller.
Yes.
McKay.
Yeah.
Arkansas.
Yes.
Steinball.
Yes.
Paul.
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Gary Wright.
Yes.
Vaughn.
Yeah.
Green.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
We have 4 yes, 1 no, 6 carried.
Motion carries. Okay, item 12B, I handed out to each of you this sheet of paper, which is in your packet. I got this, by attending a meeting that the city of Danville held, last Tuesday, a week ago. This was a pre-construction meeting concerning the demolition of Brazil Tower and the annex county had. And this gives you a lot of good information about the intended progress of the project. And for those that February 12th, tomorrow is one of the key days for the project. But I was very impressed by what the city has done in preparation of the demolition. Very impressed by the project manager and the contractor that's been hired. This is obviously a significant project for the city and for the county. And I think they put a lot of thought into it. And so I thought you would like to have something that can be referred to and kind of knowing what's going to happen and when it's going to happen. Any questions? Mr. Hall?
Two quick questions. Number one, last month, it was brought to our attention that all the departments have not retrieved all their items from the annex. So would hope that we realize the time is fastly expiring, so.
Those were all moved last Tuesday.
Thank you. The other thing that several historians will too, in fact, have got a hold of me the last couple of days about the red brick that is under the frontage of the Woodward building, the annex building. They thought that should be saved. I have no idea. I just want to bring it in front of the board that they have asked about that. So I don't know where to go with that. I just wanted to mention it.
Thank you. Any other
Sandstone, yeah.
Okay, we are ready for the next item. Mr. Hawker, item 13.
First state that most of you know my feelings on budget amendments out of the general fund. We'd like to point out that both of these are from the transportation fund and will not affect the general fund. We'd like to move and first one. Section 3.
Have a motion to dismiss the reading of the ordinance and for its adoption concerning the budget amendment of purchase of 2 trucks for the highway department. Is there a second?
I see.
Any discussion?
I would just like to state why these are being so early in the budget. I understand from our transportation superintendent that it had it in the budget for 2 years. There's been that long of a lag due to a lot of circumstances. This year, you just didn't put it in the budget until you found out they were gonna come. Now I understand, recently it's found out they're here, so we do have to do a budget amendment. I have a wise where we just put them in the budget. The years that were there, we could spend it.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Butler. Yes.
Gecko,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Hawker,
Yeah.
Anderson,
Yes.
Oh. Oh. Johnson,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
McFadden,
Yeah.
Morgan,
Yes.
Gary Miller,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Sunnyval,
Yes.
Walls,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Gary Wright,
Yeah.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Bodine,
Yes.
Wade.
Yes.
Yes, no, yeah, we can. Oh, excuse me.
I vote yes.
The next one is the budget amendment for the appropriation for the Department of Service Department. It's a budget amendment for the passage into.
Second. Mr. Johnson, thank you. Any questions, comments? Roll call, please.
Kendall,
Yeah.
Golden,
Yeah.
Hawker,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Lamar,
Yes.
McFadden,
Yeah.
Morgan,
Yes.
Gary Miller,
Yeah.
Kane,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Sunnyval,
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Weaver.
Yes.
Gary Wright,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Butler.
Yes.
Steve Miller.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion carries, ordinance is adopted. Next item is 14, Mrs. Walls.
Thank you. And the first item I have is an ordinance requiring a personal identification number and common mailing address on all reported deeds. I would ask that we dispense with the reading and move to final.
There's a second. Yes,
Basically, what this does is just require all recorded deeds to have a personal identification number or PIN number on them in the property address. If it doesn't in fact have a property address. Because the recorder's office now indexes by PIN and address, it'll make it more easily findable to the public. It'll also assist the supervisor assessment's office in transferring the tax bills accordingly.
Any questions? I would just ask that you let your staff know that there may not be an address and it should not be rejected just because it doesn't have an address.
Okay.
Okay.
So those properties, for instance, like farm ground that somebody owns in Timbuktu,
Correct, those would not have one, and the other thing.
but they'll have a PIN number
It'll
though.
have to- Talk about too, sometimes those PIN numbers, they'll be referenced by being just part of, say you have farm ground, even if it was only, say, a 10-acre parcel, and you're gonna keep a 2-acre homestead that has an address. But you're gonna sell it at 8 off to the side, obviously that property isn't gonna have an address tied to it, it's only a portion of the PIN, so. We, talk to, Nate to the supervisor assessment to make sure that his office is not working those deeds simply based on the PIN number on the document. They may have to still draw out legal fees and bounds to make sure that it's properly transferred.
Any other questions for public? Roll call.
Golden,
Yeah.
Hawker,
Yes.
Anderson,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Lamar, McFadden,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Gary Miller,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Wall, yes, Weaver. Yeah. Gary Wright,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yeah.
Bodine,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Yes.
Echo,
Yes.
Steve Miller.
I vote yes, and I think Brittany Hope is back with us, is that correct?
Brittany?
And you'd like to vote? Would you like to vote?
Yes, yes, yes.
What's your vote there? Motion carries. Ordinance is adopted.
The next item I have is amending the predictable fee schedule for reporting of documents. Again, I have that we discussed the reading in the passage.
Just a second.
This county already had a predictable fee schedule, and those fees are not changing. This is basically to clear up some new legislation, the way I understand it. Is that correct, Matt? Other than the my e-tax fee that's changed.
It's just codified what we're doing now, with statute, being compliant with the state statute. But you're right, none of the fees are changing at this point in time.
Any questions, comments, roll call?
Parker,
Yes.
Peterson,
Yes.
Oh. Yes. Johnson,
Yes.
Lamar. Yes. McFadden,
Yes.
Morgan,
Yes.
Gary Miller,
Yes.
Kane. Yes. Stark,
Yes.
Yes.
Wall,
Yes.
Weaver. Yes. Gary Wright,
Yes.
Vaughn,
Yes.
O'Donnell,
Yes.
Boyd,
Yes.
Butler. Yes. Gamble,
Yes.
Golden,
Yes.
Miller.
Yes.
Yes, accepted.
Motion carries. Ordinance is adopted. Ready for item 15, Mr. Echo?
If I can get there, we will have it.
Let me do it for you.
Yeah, good. Get it walk. It's not too long. Anyway, I was watching the time and I didn't want to run late. I think it's, might be of interest to you. We're gonna have, different things that are gonna come before you from transportation, from our, transportation, or our county engineer. And, so I thought maybe it'd be just, help you a little bit to, understand about the motor fuel tax, and how to spend and everything. In Vermilion County, there are 19 townships. And, it's a total of 1,231 miles of road, for the townships. Now, the thing of it is, the high is, Glen Township has 124 miles. And, Love Township has 28 miles, so there's a big difference in some of the miles. For the townships, their motor fuel tax is, charged to them through per mile per township. In other words, each one of them, their mileage, the more miles, the more motor fuel tax you get. The county gets it from the number of registered vehicles in the county. And so, the couple of things that goes in on this is, I give you a little idea, being a road commissioner from Sidell Township. What is expected of the road commissioners, so you'll know, like tonight we're voting on the motor fuel and resolution there on 3 different items that went for bids. So what I'd like to tell you about it is that in the fall of the year, our assistant, I'll think of it in a minute. Well, our assistant engineer out there. So anyway, she gives each one of the townships a date, and each township goes in and presents to her what they want to do. With mileage, they are told that we bring our mileage in, how wide the roads are and everything, and that's where all these bids are going to come in tonight on the rock bids. And there's chip bids for all and chip. And then that's how we find out what, we're going to be able to spend, because then she will tell us how much money we have in motor fuel tax. And I just wanted to share a little bit with you. I'll give you a little idea how it fluctuates by just going through Sidell Township. In December of last year, we started out with each month with In December, it was $11,000. Then it went to 9 in the next month, and then 10, and then 9, and then 10, and then 10. This is 10,000, and 11,000, 11,000, 12,000. It comes out to a number of like 147,000. So she knows, and we know how much we can spend and what we can do. There is such a thing, and they couldn't explain to me what it is. There's such a thing as needy township. Now, not everybody in the county gets a needy township, and it's I can tell you from getting it that it's very well accepted, and so that gives you a little idea when I give you these resolutions tonight, what really goes on. There'll be you'll have some more of these coming up, I'm sure, in the next few months. There'll be different times that the county engineer will bring a resolution to you, and so you get a general idea of what's going to happen. In case any of you haven't, I'm going to ask our county engineer to stand up back there. Would you stand up, Adrian? Adrian, there's your county engineer right there, Adrian Greenwell, and he's doing a super job, and I appreciate it. And so, is anybody got a question? Hopefully not. Well, we'll move on. I got 3 resolutions here. Our first resolution is for Langley Trucking. You have that in your packet. And I will ask that we dispense with the reading and vote for its passage, Mr. Chairman.
I believe that's one.
Only one on the agenda.
The city attorney has brought to my attention that the agenda refers to resolution, one resolution, but I think this is meant to be a group.
One, over all of them, one time.
I think that would be in the best interest of everyone to have all the resolutions considered as one matter. And I presume you would like to have all be passed tonight as in one roll call.
We can,
By Mr. Echo to pass all 3 resolutions on a roll call vote. Is there a second? Mr. Steinball. Any questions on the motion? Roll.
Peterson?
Yes.
Jones?
Yes.
Johnson?
Yes.
Lamar? Yes. McFadden?
Yeah.
Morgan?
Yes.
Gary Miller?
Yes.
King?
Yes.
Stark?
Yes.
Steinbach?
yes.
Walls?
Yes.
Weaver? Yes. Gary Wright?
Yeah.
Yes.
Floyd?
Yes.
Butler?
Yes.
Echo?
Yeah.
Hogan?
Yes.
Walker?
Yes.
Steve Miller?
Yes.
So yes, accepted.
Motion carries. Resolutions are adopted.
Okay.
Thank you for your explanation. Mr. Echo, very in the line. Okay, moving on. Item 16, I'm not aware of any requests for executive session. Item 17, we have some birthdays to recognize. Mr. Johnson, Mr. Ryan, Mr. Shepherd, happy birthday to all. Next item 17B, chairperson's comments, Mr. Hawker.
Just a couple of things. I'm sure that 2 proposals that were given to us this evening will be on our agenda for consideration, so we will have a meeting. I do have a question that Ms. Miller brought up about the public comment being clear at the bottom. I believe that our county rules list a format of agendas for not only the county board, but all committees appointed to the county board. So I would like that looked at, and I think it would be prudent only to be at the top, and I think that's what our county rules say. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Henderson.
At this time, to my knowledge, there's no business coming forward.
Mr. Miller.
Nothing.
Einball.
Same at this
They will
time.
have a change in the meeting date, if I remember correctly, because of,
President's Day.
President's Day. We'll be making notice of that. County is closed tomorrow, I believe, for the day. Nowhere. Mr. Gold.
Nothing.
Mr. Walls.
Nothing at this time.
Mr. Apple.
Yeah, me, for sure.
Mr.
Time of
Johnson.
year.
Got nothing, Mr. Chairman.
I do want to make the board aware of Johnson's suggestion that we do something about the hum that we have from our system here. And the good news is the hum can be eliminated by everything for just a few dollars. And Mr. Johnson has told me not to trouble myself bringing that request to this committee, so the next month we'll have the hum. No promises. I did want to take just a few brief minutes to comment. We had first finance study session last month. We're gonna have another February the 19th, we finally set it up. And anyone's welcome to attend. The reason we're making a public meeting and study session is so many interested board members can attend without us violating the Open Meetings Act. And we had pretty good attendance for most of the office holders. The first one, we may have those monthly, we may go to every other month, but pretty likely. And since budget monitoring is our primary responsibility as the county board, I thought you might want to consider coming. I passed out to you this report that was put together at the expense of the county. It's my understanding that I think you can just read the first paragraph and see what the genesis of this was. It's my understanding that Vermilion Advantage was looking at trying to start an advertising program to make the county more attractive to possible development, and part of that was to perhaps have an advertising program which would have both a logo and some other approved, besides the logo, it was, what that's called, but it's all explained in here. There was a firm that put all this together, predecessor's blessing. And we spent a relatively small amount of money for this, but it's part of the overall program of Vermilion Advantage to increase our image in a positive way. So I wanted to let you know why I handed that out. That I think concludes what I was going to say about that. And we'll move on to item, are there any board member comments? Mr. Weaver.
Not sounding like a broken record, but we heard anything on the FEMA building yet?
On which building?
FEMA building?
Yes, we have a generator that needs to be moved, and it's my understanding that is the last prerequisite to the demolition going down is the moving of the generator. And arrangements have been made for that to take place, and after that, demolition will proceed. Good question. I'm sure you have to look at it all the time.
Every time I drive by there.
Thank you for asking that. Anyone else who will comment? Ready for item 18. We have several appointments. I would ask for a motion to approve the appointments that are stated there. Mr. Hawker has made a motion. Mr. Weaver has seconded. Any questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ayes have it. The appointments are confirmed. And we'll now entertain a motion to adjourn.